Hello, I am Yosef. Today I'm your host for the Sidekicks of the Paranormal. We have a very special guest today. You'll like very much. I'm going to have the MaryLynn Bast. She's going to tell us more about the guests, and we're going to be very excited.
I guess that's my cue. So we've actually have Pam and Steve Barry with us. They are from the Gettysburg area, and they have a paranormal group, or part of a paranormal group there. They've been conducting investigations. Pam has been doing it since in her 30s, and she is a certified Reiki master, trained spiritualist healer, and educated in Lily Dale. She's an investigator with the Paranormal After Party. And then Steve Barry he actually did, looks like he passed away, near-death experience in 2015, crossed through the veil and came back. Since then, he's communicated with the spirits, and that has increased significantly. They've been seen on the Paranormal After Party TV shows, Fox 56, Fox 43, the CW, MyNet, and featured in the Gettysburg Life magazine, Celebrate Gettysburg magazine, and the Paranormal Underground magazine.
Bam!
10. So lots of stuff. So welcome.
Thanks for having us.
So Steve, I understand that prior to your accident, you were a hand model.
Yeah, it was.
So tell me a little bit about this experience. Look at that, beautiful.
Look, my hands. How nice my hands look. Look.
Milky smooth.
There you go.
So tell us a little bit about that experience, man. What was it like, I guess, when you finally realized that, hey, yeah. I mean, was it like a relief, or were you just kind of like, I don't know what's going on right now?
Well, no, I remember pretty much all of it. It happened on March 31st, the day before April Fool's. So
2015.
Yeah, 2015. So Pam was down here.
That's the year right before 2016, for anybody who doesn't know.
Yeah.
Good counting.
So I lived up in Milford, PA, and Pam lived down here by Gettysburg. So we were looking to buy a house down here in Gettysburg. So I actually had a shop for a house online while I was recovering, but I was coming down to meet with her and go look at houses. And that night, my daughter was living with me. So she was cooking dinner, and she said, and Pam and I were joking around. I said, Pam, what I noticed back in October 2014 was the veins in my legs started popping out. So I was going to the hospital and saying, why are my veins popping out? And they go, oh, you got restless leg syndrome. One hospital told me, another hospital told me I had varicose veins. I said, varicose veins at my age? No way.
Right.
And that's what all the hospitals kept telling me. So they sent me for a stress test, and I did a stress test, and they said I failed it. I said, okay, what did I fail? He goes, well, you failed the stress part, but we did an ultrasound on your heart. You know, they do it as soon as you're done. And he goes, you passed that, so we're not going to do nothing about it. Everything should be fine. Yeah, they should have sent me right to the hospital. They didn't. That was February. March came, and I was talking to Pam on the phone. I said, I found something out today. She goes, what? I said, when I run in my house, my veins go away. Like they just disappear. And then when I stopped, they bulged back out. I said, watch. And I ran and I jumped over the table, a coffee table in my house, and came back. And I was FaceTiming her. I showed her my legs. And she goes, that is strange.
It's fun being our friend. That's all.
Yeah. So,
Sounds like it.
so she goes, you got to tell the doctor about that. And then my daughter goes, Dad, when dinner's ready, get off the phone with Pam. You can call her when we're done eating. I was like, all right.
She's bossy.
She's a little bossy. So I got off the phone and I went to eat. And I couldn't eat. Like, I just felt nauseous. Like, every time I ate, like, I couldn't swallow or nothing. So I went in my room, and I checked my blood pressure. And it was, what was it? 72 over 120.
Oh, wow. That's weird. Yeah.
So I was walking out, and something told me. I looked at my dresser, and I had baby aspirin up there. Someone told me to take baby aspirin. So I took 2 baby aspirin anyway, and I went back to eat. And then my daughter had left, and she had gone to her room. And with her boyfriend, who's her husband now. And I tried eating. I couldn't eat. And then I felt really weird. So I got up. I got this pressure all of a sudden in my ears. Really, really bad. So I went in the back, and I knocked on her door. She opened. She goes, what's wrong? She goes, oh, my God, Dad, you're gray. You're gray color. And she says, what's going on? I said, I think I'm having a heart attack. And I couldn't really hear it because the pressure was so bad.
So what do they do? 150 miles away, they call me.
Yeah, my daughter calls her.
I'm like,
right?
call an
Calls
ambulance.
911. So it's snowing so hard outside. It was a blizzard we had. It was like we had about 7 inches on our deck already outside
That's
the
what
house.
she said.
And we lived in this like real deep gully, so it's really hard to get cell signal out. So my daughter calls. She calls 911. And they go 911, and then she goes, my dad's having a heart attack, and her phone cuts off.
Oh,
So
no.
now she's calling. She's panicking. She's
Frantic,
going,
right?
Blue. So like, that's not helping me. I'm sitting there like on the couch. I'm not moving. And then she's calling. She can't get through. It just wouldn't work. The phone wouldn't work. So about 15 minutes, I start feeling a little better. And all of a sudden, I got this. It felt like someone took a blowtorch to my chest. It was like a full blow, like a lighter was right there. But I mean, like a torch. And I just grasped my chest, like, crossed my arms like this and just held it. And then it eased up. And then I just felt great. I just felt like totally normal. And my daughter goes, Dad, your color is coming back. Your color's coming back. I said, like that. But I didn't want to get up.
Yeah.
So Ray goes, who's my daughter's husband now, he goes, I'm taking you. I'm going to take you in the car. We got to get you to the hospital. We can't get through. And all of a sudden we hear in the distance the sirens coming. What they had done is they what they do that they do the tower.
The ping, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so they traced the phone signal, and that's how they found us.
Wow.
When they got there, they came in and they hooked me all up, and they go, all right, your heart looks okay. Do you think you can walk to the ambulance? I said, yeah. They said, all right, let's get him up. They looked me up. As soon as they lift me up, they go, put him back down. So they put me back down, and they brought the stretcher in, got me on the stretcher out across my deck. Another paramedics out there trying to shovel snow so they can get the thing out. We get in the ambulance, and my daughter goes, where are you taking them? To Bon Secours Hospital, which is in Port Jervis, which is like 15 minutes from my house. They go, no, we can't take him there. They go, we have to take him to Scranton, which is 55 minutes from my house. They go, we can't save him there. And he goes, he had a massive heart attack. They saw it on the monitor. So
you can see, yeah.
Yeah, so I get in the ambulance, and we take off, and I'm looking out, and I live down this dirt driveway, and then you get to the pavement. And as soon as we got to the pavement, he goes, Steve? I go, he goes, open your mouth. And he shot me with a spray, and it was nitroglycerin.
Oh, wow.
And what they didn't know at that time, I had blood clots had formed in my body already. And when he did that, 2 blood clots shot up through my legs into my heart. So what ended up happening, I had the Widowmaker already. I had the 90% clogged right artery, or 100% clogged right artery, with 2 blood clots on top of it. So I had the Widowmaker straight. No one's ever survived it. No one survives the Widowmaker usually. Never mind at times 3. So when we're heading down the road, when you die, what happens when he gave me that? The feeling in your heart stops is exactly like this. Do you ever stand up really fast and feel dizzy?
Yeah.
All right, but you don't usually pass out. You just sit back down and you go, whoa, right?
Yeah.
Imagine passing out. Laying down, feeling that feeling come up. You didn't even stand up. Just it comes up the back of your neck, and you feel it come across your head. And as soon as it gets right here, that's it.
Yep.
You're blacking out. That's it. And so I blacked out in the ambulance the first time, and then I woke up flipping like a fish because they shocked me back. Yeah, it was
Wow.
And paramedics are holding me down.
Yeah.
When I died, the first thing I saw when I died was you take your old photograph books when you're a kid. Your mom used to stick photos in there, and then you put next page. That's what it was like. It was like a page flipping. Showed me as far back as I can remember, probably about 7 years old. And then we go 8, 9, through the years. I saw my dogs. I saw my cars I had. Remember some times I had with friends. And then the pages start going faster and faster and faster. And I think they're going really fast because they were shocking me back. And then when I woke up, I said to the paramedic, I said, why did you take me out of my dream? He goes, what? He goes, we just brought you back. Wow. I had that. So we're driving down the highway, and then they pull over on Route 84, and they're calling for life flight. And because they said, we're not going to make it with this guy. We need life flight. And they said, we can't fly. There's a blizzard. We can't fly in this. You have to get him there. So they take off, and then we pulled over one more time, and that's when a Suburban came behind us with the lights and all that. When there's they got that real quick, and he came back in, and we took off again. And the guy goes, you got to go faster. He goes, I'm doing 79 miles an hour. I'm not killing us all for one person.
Right.
That's the driver. He said it right out loud. I mean, you can't blame him. I mean, the highway's loaded with snow. Well, I died again. They brought me, shocked me back, and then I got just to the Scranton exit, and I can see the Scranton Expressway. And I said, yeah, I'm there, right? I'm going, yeah, I'm going to make it. I died again. They shocked me back. When they shocked me back, I saw the words emergency on the building. I'm like, they got to get me inside. So I get inside, and there's a whole team waiting for me.
Wow.
I mean, I get in there, and they wheel me in, and he goes, I'm Dr. Greenspan. I'm the emergency doctor. He goes, I'm not going to let anything happen to you. So whatever you do, don't let me die. He goes, you're not going to die in my watch. And then I died right in front of him. Boom. That was it. I was dead. So I wake up, and then there's a lady cut my shirt off. And she goes, Steve, she goes, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to cath you. I can't give you nothing. I'm like, oh, do what you got to do. And all of a sudden, I was dead anyway. I died. I was dying every 10 seconds.
Wow.
Yep, they got me out in the hallway. They read me my last rites. My daughters were there. They were crying, because they told her, my kids right there on the spot, I'm sorry, he's not going to make it. They told me. Alternator. Yeah, the pastor and the doctor, the other assistant doctor said, he's not going to make it.
I just want to be clear, each time you were dying, not once did you see me.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so let's shorten it up a little bit. Tell them what you saw.
Well, anyway, I ended up getting in the cath room, and then I was no longer here on Earth anymore. So when I passed, I ended up in this space. There's no buildings, there's nothing. You're in gray. I call it gray matter. There's gray matter all around you. You look, no matter what you look, it looks the same. It's just gray space. And then I saw these little watery figures running by. You ever see the movie The Abyss?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
The watery figures at the end there. Well, that's what they look like. There were little figures running around. So I figured they were kids. And they're giggling. And I said, come to me. And they go, we're not allowed to talk to you. But they sound like if me and Pam talked at the same time, a man and a woman's voice mixed is the only way I can say it. It was really weird. And they'd run. So I said, all right, well, I said, which way should I go. I had no clue which way. So I said, all right, they're there. I'm going to turn around and go the opposite way. So I just turned my body and started walking. And that's where I walked. It would ripple out like you skim a stone in a pond and makes those ripples. It'll ripple like that. And as soon as you put your foot down, it'll go boom, right back to your foot. As soon as you tap your foot and lift it up, it keep going out. And then as soon as you put your foot down, it'll go boom back. So it's like you're walking on water. Really weird.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then I looked, my shirt was back on, wasn't cut off.
No.
And I looked, I had my watch on. The watch band was there, the circle of the watch, but there was no time, no face.
Did you get
all my skin was there instead.
Did you get the orderly's number at least? Who cut your shirt?
Yeah, no.
That was a good shirt too.
Yeah, it was. It was a red diamond shirt they cut. And so you have no sense of time when you're up there either. Later on, I was walking and I came to a room, like an area of nothing but wings floating all over the place. All different sizes, thousands of wings. No bodies between them, just wings.
Wings.
And then a figure came, this round, like sort of like take your eye socket and turn it long ways, came at me and then opened up, and there's a dim light and a tall figure standing in it. And it said to me, I come to you because you believe in me. You're a part of me, my kingdom. Let them know I'm with each and every one of you. My love never dies. Now go.
Wow.
So I'm go where? So the only thing I think of is turn away and walk away from him. Put your back to him, walk away. And I did. And then I woke up and I was in the cath lab. I see a pink mask and a blue mask doctor looking down at me. And I can't hear them. And next thing you know, I'm back up in that gray matter again. And I hear a voice say, I told you to go. Now I'm back in my body again. Now I never felt myself go into my body or saw myself go in my body. I'm just
there.
Back in it. And now I can hear the doctors and going, Steve, you can hear us. Please give us a sign. All I could think of doing with my hands is raise my hands up and give them my hand model.
Hey, that's good.
2 thumbs up, right? And they were all clapping. Well, that's what was weird. I ended up waking up in an ICU. My TV crew's in there. And this is true. They were all in there. It's got allergies. My brother was in there. My friends were all the guys on the show were in there. I don't know how they got in ICU still to this day because you're only allowed 2 people. But there, and then Pam shows up. Pam drove all the way from Gettysburg in a blizzard in a PT Cruiser. And made it. 3 hours. Over 4 hours, actually, in a PT. And wakes up gets there not knowing if I'm alive or dead.
That's wild.
So she comes in. I come out of ICU, which I thought was the next day. Pam said I was in there for 4 or 5 days. Next thing you know, I'm in my room, and regular room, hospital room, and I look over, and on my nightstand's a card. I pick the card up, and it says, Steve, I did not want to wake you. This is Dr. Greenspan. I told you you would not die on my watch.
Nice.
What doctor comes up and gives you a card like that and leaves it there? I mean, I never had an ER doctor ever do that for me.
That's cool.
And then all of a sudden, everyone's like this in my room. They're peeking in my room around my door. I'm like, what the heck's going on here? So the doctors come in and they go, hi, I'm Dr. Lowen. I'm the cardiologist. I'm going to tell you what happened to your heart. I said, well, I died. He goes, yeah, besides that, we did a lot of work. A lot of people worked on you. He goes, well, I'm the one that found the clog. And that's when he told me you had the Widowmaker ×3. No one survived it. We are calling you the Miracle Man.
Wow.
Here at Geisinger Hospital in Scranton. He goes, you're probably wondering why everyone's looking at you. He goes, everyone that's walking in this room can't believe you're alive. They all worked on you. Who's ever looking at you in this room are the ones that worked on you and kept you alive. He goes, we didn't break any of your ribs, which is amazing, for not doing chest compression. He goes, here's the weird thing. Out of being shocked over 53 times back, you only had the Widowmaker ×3, you only have 2% heart damage.
That's great.
Wow.
He goes, that is rare. He goes, usually a person that has a heart attack has at least 40% heart damage. You have 2% heart damage. That's it.
That's incredible.
It's amazing. He goes, that's why we're calling you the Miracle Man. So he goes, do you have any questions for me? I said, yeah, doc. I said, who was the female cardiologist working on me? He goes, you're freaking me out. And he goes, tell me what you saw. I said, how do you know I saw something? He goes, because the whole time I was working on your heart, you were talking to me.
Oh, wow.
So I said, Doc, what did I say to you? He goes, I got to do my errands. When you come to my office a month from now, I will tell you and we'll talk about it. I said, all right. He started talking. I said, Doc, wait, you didn't answer my question. Who is the female cardiologist? This is what makes you think there was one there. I said, well, when I woke up in the cath lab, there was a pink mask and a blue mask. So I assumed the pink mask was a female. He goes,
Right.
what side? I said, if looking at you right now, she'd be on this side. He goes, you're really freaking me out. There was a female cardiologist there. But there's no way you saw her. I said, I saw her plain as day. He goes, you couldn't have. I said, why? He goes, we have cotton and big patches over your eyes. So if you wake up during the surgery, you don't freak out.
You don't panic.
Right.
Mhm.
He goes, so I don't know how in the heck you saw that. So
Wow, that's crazy.
By,
Next time use cucumbers. They hydrate.
yeah, right. Exactly. So I go back a month later, and I didn't think he'd do this, but I went in there. I said, hey, Doc, I said, you said I talked to you. What did I say to you? He goes, why do you want to know so bad? I said, 'cause I want to write a book. He goes, oh, no, I'm not going to no book. He wouldn't tell me.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
So I don't know what I said to something to go under hypnosis and see what I said.
Just
Maybe
be
that'll come out.
thankful that when you had to give a sign, you did this. Because
Yeah.
you did on this.
Well, the reason, yeah, right?
For this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Well, the reason I said, why did they ask that question? You know, what was so, why was everyone so excited that I answered? He goes, because you were without oxygen for 7.5 minutes.
Wow, that's a long time.
You should have brain damage.
Yeah.
I do.
Well,
I stutter from it.
I do Spirits for the Spirits. Today I brought out my Golden Apple, my 23-year
Nice.
Crown Royal.
I would
Stuff
join you,
with
but I
beauty.
can't drink that much because I have that all my heart meds. In
I have a hot toddy.
Yeah, you've got the old veiny leg, we call it.
And then I've got Captain Morgan's sliced apple.
Oh, that sounds good. And I drink out of an outhouse.
Oh, I have
I
that.
have that.
They're right over
Yeah.
I have that.
Oh my gosh.
I need to get me one.
there.
We can get shit faced together.
I need to get me one.
You should.
Oh, that's
Yes!
so
I love them. They're amazing.
This was meant to be.
yeah.
Yes. All right. To veiny leg.
Spirits.
V leg.
The V
Or
leg.
V.
Woo! That's the stuff.
There
So-
you go.
Pam. How did you get involved with the paranormal? Was it before or after Steve decided to go all guardian angel on you?
Well, I've been involved in the spirit world for a long time. The first time I saw someone, I was a very small child. But as a child, my grandmother would say, are we going to have our Ouija board session this weekend or are we going to have seances? So I just grew up thinking that everyone did that. I just thought it was the norm.
I couldn't even get my grandma to make me a sandwich.
Mine was awesome.
Yeah, you're getting seances and Ouija boards.
Sardines or
Oh, I have so many fun stories about the seances that we used to do.
That's incredible. Is this also in Pennsylvania? I don't know where you were.
No, I'm
No.
from Baltimore originally.
She doesn't want to talk where she's
Hey,
from.
my wife's from Baltimore. I go there all the time.
So when we come to Gettysburg, we need to do a
You
segment.
stopped tires on your car
All
when you
right,
came
we
out?
got to talk about Baltimore one time. Some good crab cakes.
When you came out of Baltimore, did you have tires on your car?
Barely.
Hey now.
What's funny, the first time we actually went to Baltimore, my first time we went to go visit our family, it took us, we get out at the BWI, we rent a car, and it takes us through the wire. It was interesting, to say the least. But her dad lives in White Marsh.
Okay, I lived on Vincent Road in White Marsh.
Wow. Okay, I'll have to ask. I don't know it that well, but I'm sure they do. And then
I
we
went
also
to Our Lady Queen of Peace in White Marsh, Maryland.
was that where you were born?
No, that was my school. Our Lady.
Oh,
Queen of
your
Peace.
school. Okay. And then her I want to say,
Then we moved to
you have family in
Baltimore.
Jarrettsville?
I know Jarrettsville.
then-
I've never lived there, but we've been through there. There are some swimming holes there that we used to go to.
Yeah, but I really do like Baltimore. We went to the harbor, got to see that boat, the boat that you.
Constellation or the USS Taurus.
And when I did it, I thought it was creepy as heck. And I was like, I kept telling my wife, I'm like, man, I feel. But at the time, like, I wasn't doing any type of paranormal, no ghost stuff.
Uh-huh.
I know Rosedale really well.
Um,
Krista Gagliano.
that's my wife. Yeah,
I know Rosedale really well.
that's cool.
Pepper Lane.
Yeah, but we did that. I didn't know that it was haunted until I watched the Holzer file. Was it the Holzer Files? Yeah, Holzer Files.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. I had no idea, but there's a cool aquarium there. I like both.
Yes. Big Science Center.
So, and now here you are in Scranton in a PT Cruiser, much like
In a blizzard.
Michael Scott from The Office. Okay,
Right.
in the
So
snow.
tell somebody from Baltimore that they can't drive, and I'm like, Psh, I'm driving.
She said 18 wheelers were pulling over, and she
Yeah, it was
still
bad. It was actually bad.
So, you've all obviously decided to settle up in or around Gettysburg.
So I was a single parent, and I did not want my kids to become a victim. I wanted them to become victorious. So I actually do. I also do a speech in the field called "From Victim to Victorious"
Nice.
because we set our own paths. Long story short, brought my kids to the outskirts of Gettysburg because I felt drawn to this area.
Okay.
My kids went to Upper Adams School District. It was a huge culture shock. It was great. They hated it at first,
Okay.
but they've grown to love it. And yeah, it was the best thing that I ever did for my kids. I could have stayed stuck there, and actually that would have been easy. Me picking all of my kids up, just me and my children, and moving to the outskirts of Gettysburg was probably one of the hardest and most difficult but most rewarding things I've ever done.
So I'm gonna go on a limb here and say
Sure.
that Steve is not the deadbeat husband.
Nah,
No.
nah, not this time.
Okay.
Number 27.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's pretty motivating, especially for. It's tough, I think, especially being a single parent. Be it and so for me, my last grade of school was the 6th. So my dad left when I was 2. My mom left when I was 12, and so I've just kind of been me, right, doing my thing. And my dad came back into my life, and so did my mom, and I love them both dearly. I hold no animosity, no blame. And I think that's kind of what's really important. And I think that's something that you probably instilled in your kids is, hey, look, there's nobody to blame for anything that goes on in your life but you, right? You just gotta you gotta be powerful, you gotta be motivational, and look, you gotta get your shit together. Right?
We can't be responsible for things that happen to us, but we are responsible for how we react to them and how we deal with them.
Absolutely.
Learn and grow.
There's been some people who have heard my story and they're like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, oh, you don't have to be sorry. That made me who I am.
Yeah, exactly.
That made my kids look and watch. I knew my kids were watching, so I could have just given up. I could have, but I loved them at that time. I loved them, and I still do more than myself. So I was doing it for them.
Right. Look, I didn't like having celery up my nose, but I know now. It doesn't belong there. Okay? I know. So you're also involved with the historical society out there in Gettysburg?
We're on the board of the
Waynesboro.
Waynesboro. Tell me about that.
We're actually on the retreat end of the Battle of Gettysburg. The 3rd day and the 4th day of July that year, tremendous amount of rains came, flooding. It was terrible. So we actually investigate the retreat end of the Battle of Gettysburg. We're actually on
The battlefield.
with
Wow.
the historians, raising money for them. That being said, it is called Monterey Pass. They called it Mount Misery. And it was the Confederate Army coming through Fairfield. They passed the David Stewart Farm, largest Confederate field hospital, came up onto this mountain right here in Waynesboro. Helped Waynesboro for.
It looks a lot like a window. I'm not gonna lie.
It's up that way.
Oh, but it is that. Okay, I got you.
It's just
It's
a really exciting experience that we get to do that. It's humbling. The Historical Society, entrusted us with that history, and the historians are actually on the battlefield with us. They're marked, historically marked. You can see Yankee Billy Trail. You can see where Custer was. Everything's marked. The trenches are up there. We actually get into the trenches, sit and do EVPs. Like, it is.
You know how many people were involved in the battle? Do you know how many soldiers were involved in the battle?
There were 14 miles of wagon train. 14 miles. It had all of their supplies. They had their dead. They had their wounded.
Let's say like 3,700.
I think it was 2,000 were wounded up there.
Yeah, but I think it was 3,700.
It could be
3,700. So let's say it was 3,700.
I'll have to look up the number. I don't want to say the wrong number.
We'll say 3,000 to be safe. That's at least.
Yeah. There we go.
I think it was less.
Yeah, less.
You argue with a woman.
I think it was less than that. We also have access and investigate the museum that's there that has artifacts, from that fourth day. There's also a colonial road that comes right through it. So that's, pre-Civil War. It's colonial age. And we get to walk that road.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And
we're making money for them. So it all benefits the Friends of Monterey Pass.
Yeah.
So is that the same for the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash? Is that what it's?
So Gettysburg Battlefield Bash. We started out with 13 vendors.
Nice.
There was a man that came to our first event, and he drove a John Deere tractor.
Across the USA.
Yes. We were his last stop.
And they brought him into Gettysburg with a police escort.
Yep. And then he was ending up in Lancaster to retire. And before he left, his words kind of sat with me. He said, "You guys have something here and you need to keep doing this." And I said to him, "Okay." And then we've just grown and grown and grown. Last year, we raised $20,000.
12 hours.
Yep. Yeah. We benefit Pennsylvania Wounded Warriors, who Helen or her representatives are there every year. So you actually, when she's there, she's 88.
Wow.
She's my hero. She's amazing. She's my hero.
Yeah.
Then we have John Buckland, who is H4H Foundation. He helps children at risk. He's gone to the Ukraine. He's gone to Poland, and he helps children who are battling cancer. So he has a $150,000 Batmobile, and he takes kids for victory rides.
That's cool.
So he's just amazing. And then we do Dana's Pink Wishes, and we ask everyone who comes to please bring at least one unwrapped Christmas gift. Could be for a boy, girl, doesn't matter what age. And that goes to help children whose parents have a cancer diagnosis. So last year at our hotel boy, was that humbling. You turned the corner.
Toys everywhere, all the way down the hall.
Toys.
It was packed.
Honestly, the Gettysburg Battlefield Bash is life-changing for a lot of people. A lot.
Yeah.
And Steve, a lot of times he's like, "Pam and I don't get anything from it." And that's not true. My heart and soul is full when we are at the bash. And people network, friendships are formed. I don't know. It's a weekend of hope and healing, we call it.
Yeah.
So I understand that you know TV's Shane Pittman?
Yes. Shane will be there.
Yes. So what you may or may not know is TV's Shane Pittman and Josh Purvis are our producers.
Nice.
Yes, our producers, our director. Perfect. Yes. So we'll definitely have to chat a little bit after all this.
We will.
And talk a little bit about that. But before we get into that, you had mentioned how your grandmother did seances or Ouija board. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
So there's 21 kids in the family.
Did you ever take that spell off me?
Shut up. Lots of kids, and on weekends when they were visiting, she had to occupy ourselves. And we would try to contact like
Occupied with
Marilyn Monroe or John F. Kennedy or our past loved ones that I had as a kid. And I remember one time, my Uncle George, my mother had laundry, right? And he went and got a pillowcase and put it on his head and stood up at the window like this when we were having a seance.
Oh my God.
Holy crap. And these adults wonder why I am like I am.
I poop a Triscuit.
I honestly thought that everyone
Like you?
had seances and play with, and our Ouija boards. Like my grandmother taught us how to open them, close them. Like it was not a tool. And I got a new one for Christmas almost every year.
Wow.
Yep.
I couldn't even hold on to all the pieces to Monopoly. So yeah, the Ouija board was not in not in the cards.
Not your forte.
It wasn't. It really wasn't. So I think, gosh, now that I think about it, I think I've only actually mucked with a Ouija board maybe once or twice, and I was probably a kid when I did that too, you know.
Right. Now I do not take a Ouija board or anything like that to any investigations.
No.
No, really.
You know, out of respect for people who, you know, we do some private homes or we do all the different, we do the orphanage, Jenny Wade House, David Stewart Farm, the Hoover House, our historical society, Monterey Pass. But, you know, Hollywood kind of got a hold of the Ouija board. So I don't want to give anyone a feeling of dread or uncomfortable.
Because Ouija boards are kind of associated with that, aren't they? Huh?
They do. When people come into the Hoover House, like I want them to feel like they're coming to their grandmother's house. I want them to feel welcomed. I want them to be relaxed. I want them to kind of, you know, socialize and just be on a vibration of here. Because all those big, like, I don't know, St. Albans and Eastern State, they're amazing places. But you kind of go into them, you're like, right? Here, I want a different investigation. I want everybody to be relaxed.
So
then they go into the basement, though. The basement was called the coal mine, and it was an illegal bar. That's totally different energy from here to there. Totally different.
Yeah.
So you're in the Hoover House right now?
Mm-hmm. Yep, we're in the Hoover House right now. Yeah, we're sitting in the bar area. I'm afraid to turn this around.
That's fine. No worries, no worries.
And we also build equipment. This is called a monolith. So
nice.
This is a REM pod proximity meter.
Oh, that's cool.
Right.
So what other kind of equipment do you do?
And this is a motion activated laser.
I'm still
grid.
designing more.
You can't see it because it's bright.
I can see the light, yeah.
These are awesome. This will light up the whole side of the room just by the motion.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
wow.
this will go on. The laser will go on for like 30 seconds, then it'll go off. Then when something triggers, it'll come back on, stay on for like a good minute. So you see if something past it, you'll see it.
It's really cool.
Could you make one that's electrified?
Yeah, tasers. Shoot, I can make one taser.
Yeah, so like if a human
No
gets
more run, dude. You know.
Yeah, no more run.
No more running.
If
they start to run, the
pick it up and steal it, it just tases them in the nuts.
That's right. Takes them right down.
This one's for the bash. This
Yeah.
is for the Christmas in July.
Oh,
This is going to be auctioned off.
Look at that, that's cute. I love it.
Yeah.
It's the Grinch. It's
The
not
Grinch.
Grinch.
So you said you're doing an auction?
Yes, we are going to have an auction.
We got a lot going on this year.
So if anybody wants to bring an auction item,
Yeah.
it would be magnificent. And
I
then
think I've got an old farm laying around.
Josh and
Got the Oscar Mayer Wiener.
oh, that's right, the Oscar Mayer Wiener mobile's there, and axe throwing. We just put that up,
I
and
saw that. Yeah.
Yeah. Axe throwing, we have
what's the
the
other
escape
thing?
trailer.
Escape room.
Yeah, escape.
So,
We've
yeah, I
got
was
a
looking
mechanical
at
bull.
You have all of the vendors listed there. So
We have wrestling.
I couldn't hear you.
Said it was really cool to see all on your Facebook page where you have all of the vendors listed.
Yep, I asked them to put all of their things, and then I do like a vendor shout
I want
out.
to give them advertisement too, you know.
Yeah.
Not only put the people that are coming there, you know, the special guests, but we want the vendors to be nice too.
Absolutely. So the way that you get into the bash is you come in and you can pay with your card or you can pay cash, and you get a wristband, and it's $20, and that wristband's good for the whole 3 days. 3 days.
So it's $20 for all 3 days.
Nice.
Not $20 a day. $20 gets you all 3 days.
All 3 days.
All
Okay.
3 days. And then we're having a VIP party for the first time this year.
Celebrity
Nice.
bartending,
Celebrity bartending,
karaoke.
and
somebody was telling me you guys are going to have bull milking too, right? Is that a thing?
Don't
I'm
push
not
it.
doing that.
I may
They
have
can do
that.
They might do that
I
one
might
year.
do that.
So don't
Nice.
you get bull riding
They
now?
asked for a mechanical bull like
A
King
mechanical
Flu.
bull? Yeah.
Yeah, mechanical bull. Yep.
I need to try that.
We have the wrecking ball too.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going to try the wrecking ball.
The wrecking ball is a big inflatable house with 4 seats in there. You got to stand on them, and they move too. And there's a big ball, and you got to slide on the rope, and you got to knock someone off on their pedestal.
And you have to sing wrecking ball.
Right.
I made that up.
Like a wrecking ball.
I am going to sing it though while I'm in it.
I don't know
And
how
the
I
funny
feel
thing
about
is, I
balls
can't
flying
hold
at
on.
my face, but I'm here. I'll do it.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, YOLO,
Yo.
I'm going to do it.
as the kids would say. Okay, so, MaryLynn, you are. Do you have any questions? And from the because I don't know if you know, MaryLynn is a psychic medium. So I mean, what are you expecting to take away from Gettysburg Bash or from Gettysburg in general?
Well, for me, it's not really expect anything, because if you go in and expecting it, it won't happen. So for me, I'm just looking forward to meeting the people, just feeling the energies and just being there. And I think that's going to be so exciting, just to be able to meet everybody. And I know are you a psychic as well, Pam?
No, I'm a spiritualist. I'm a healer.
Oh, okay.
It's like one big family when you walk in the door.
I mean, I get messages, but I'm by far,
You'll see
Mine goes straight to voicemail.
You've got the intuitive, so you've got the ability to do it. You just don't do it.
right. I really focus on my healing aspect and help people on that journey.
So, because I'm
No.
also a Reiki master as well.
Are you?
Yeah.
Good. We have to talk.
We do. But yeah,
So where our event is, that was a field hospital.
okay.
Should I tell them what happened? Okay, I'm going to tell you. I had my backpack on, right? So the
Oh,
hotels
hotel, yeah.
are hooked between like a hallway.
It's a breezeway.
It's like a breezeway.
But it's all sealed with glass. It's like
Right.
a glass
Okay.
wall.
Go from the Eisenhower to the Aspire. And as
Right.
I'm walking with my granddaughter, it was just me and her. And I'm walking across, and she's like, "Hey, Yaya," and I'm like, "Blah blah blah." And all of a sudden, my backpack gets pulled, and it went flying. And Serenity's like, "Yaya, what happened?" And I'm like, "Oh, I don't know. It's no big deal." And I go back and I pick my backpack up, and it was cut
Like someone cut with scissors.
perfectly cut.
Wow.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay. And then talking to the historians, they're like, that looks like that was cut with like a knife or a bayonet or something. And I'm
Wow.
like,
You know, I just thought of something.
That's crazy.
From our show that happened to you pretty much. Well, not that.
What?
See, we got an EVP that said cut her.
oh,
So then they cut your backpack off. Something with her knives. I didn't have to
Steve, that was like 10 years
I
ago
know.
or
I just
more.
thought that. You know?
I totally forgot about that.
Well, I
It
mean,
did
time
happen.
can operate very differently in their realm. So
Just seconds.
could have been 10 years to us and
Make it
10
nice.
seconds to them.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
So
Well,
what has been the craziest experience that you've had?
Oh my. I had an experience on the Constellation as a child. It was
Oh, did you really?
Yep, my sister had her class trip there, and I was younger than her, and I got to go. And there was a man in a wool uniform that told me I could get in his bunk. And
Sure did.
I got in the
bunk. See?
my mother was like, "Get out of there." And I was like, okay.
That was husband 26.
And then the man, I saw him again, and he said, "I told you you could get in the bunk." And I got in the bunk again. And my mother's like, get out of there. And I'm like, he said I could get in.
Yeah.
So,
Chill, lady.
yeah, I don't know. And then
That's
at
pretty wild.
Eastern State, I had a really good experience with the EVPs. It said, I'm the front man and I'm going to kill you.
Yeah, we
Wow.
put her.
And it's all on video.
Yeah, we put her in a solitary
Solitary
confinement cell, and she had to stay in there with with one camera, and the light was her camera, the light that was on.
Yeah.
So she had to go in there with that and the Poltercom you went in with.
Yep.
That Jerry Jones made. She had that in the cell with her, and we left her in there for 10 minutes.
Yep.
She had, and I told her after 10 minutes I'll come get you. By the time
I'm
I
like,
got in
okay.
there, she was so happy.
I was, because
Wow.
it said I was like this with the camera, right? And the camera clicked off. And I
That
said,
has no lights.
right. And I said, that's not nice. And then it said hopeless. And I was like, no, things aren't hopeless. You don't have to stay here. And I'm validating spirit, right?
Right.
And then in my blindness, I got my camera back on. And I said, this is a camera. Please don't do that again. And it said through the Poltercom, I am the front man and I'm going to kill you. So I said, no, you can't hurt me. And I'm not fearful of you, but I can help you. And the whole time I'm like, oh shit. Right. But I didn't show any
like
of that.
when they coming for me.
And then Scott Sukul was like the person in charge over across the way. So I was like, Scott, I had an experience that I really don't know. And he said that the front man, well, first he said, where were you at? And I said, solitary confinement. And he said, well, there was an officer killed there. And the front man, which was the lookout man, was executed along with the murderer.
Wow.
So that was really good validation.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
That's
yeah,
cool.
we've had a lot of cool experiences.
So Steve, what have you had?
My death.
Yeah. I was like, oh, you died.
I don't think I could beat it with anything like that. I mean, I had a lot of experiences here lately. A lot here lately. What was the one that just happened the other day?
Yeah, I was gonna say, since you're near death, what have you had that's kind of, you said it's escalated your
What I do now, but it's escalated. We do table tipping here. You know what table tipping is?
tipping?
It's the old way the Fox sisters used to do talk to spirit is through a table.
Okay.
So you sit
Table,
around a wooden
table
table.
tipping?
It's where they lift up and
Yeah, exactly. So you have your hands lightly on top of the table, just sitting on there. You don't push down nothing. And you call spirit in, and I'll spin the table, and you gotta go with it.
Sometimes
Or they'll
nothing
tilt it for
happens.
yes or no.
Yeah.
so it kind of
So-
turns it into a planchette is what it does.
Exactly.
Right.
Oh.
So when I first, one of Pam's friends came down from Lilydale and told me, said, hey, try this. And she goes, grab a table from your house. So it wasn't at this house, another house. So I'm sitting there, and I have my hands on there like this. I'm sitting there for like a half hour. Like, come on. This is
My hands are killing me.
She goes, there's no energy with this table. You got another table? I said, well, I got a pie table upstairs. So I went down, got the pie table.
I love
down,
pie.
sat there. In 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds, I had my hands on there. The table started sliding. And I'm like, okay, she's moving it. I'm looking at the table. She wasn't moving. It was just me and her on the table.
Yeah. So when they table
That's
tip,
cool.
I sit along the wall, and if something comes up, I'm Googling and validating. Like
Wow.
if someone comes through here, I'll Google, was that a person who lived at the Hoover House? And I'll get their obituary up. And
Wow.
then that gives them something to ask spirit. So I'm the historian on that.
Somebody just walked in here.
Wow, that's cool, man.
We try to validate everything.
So I'm like the validator when we do that. I don't no longer sit pretty much at the table. I sit in a chair and I listen. And this is the gift I got when I came back, is they'll tell me in my head, they'll stare and say, they won't tell me their name half the time. They'll just tell me, mention this at the table. Like one time we had people that were staying here, never met them before. And lady's sitting there and she wanted to do table tipping. So we're sitting there and I go, I don't know, spirit's coming through and telling me to ask someone whose family member had a John Deere green tractor with yellow wheels. And they're like, well, that's every John Deere tractor. I said, no, this is like a farm old tractor. It's huge, and the tires aren't rubber. They're metal with spikes on them. And the weird thing about this tractor, there's an ornament on it from just like the Convoy movie, The Duck.
Oh,
Chris Christopherson, I can't say his name.
Chris Christopherson.
Yeah, was on that was mounted on the truck, right? So I said, this same ornament's on this tractor. And the girl looks at me, she turns almost white, she says, that's my grandfather's tractor. And I said, well, he's here to talk to you.
That's cool.
Sometimes that does
Yeah.
happen.
So I said, he's here to talk to you. She goes, how did you know that? I said, he just told me. He's right here. He's telling me right now.
that's incredible.
Yes, I've done that to several people. I freaked them out. There was one that was more gross tech. It was a girl over here. Her and a boyfriend came over here. His grandfather died here, right? Died in the house here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Died up on the second floor, and that's how we met him. When we took over the place, he said, "Can I go see my grandfather's room?" He passed away up in the second floor.
We have his picture up there.
So,
cool.
Yeah.
so he's over here, and he brought his girlfriend over, and they were table tipping, and all of a sudden I started getting sick to my stomach, and this spirit came through, and I go, "This is for you." And I said to his girlfriend, because they made it very direct who to give it to.
Yeah.
And I said, did you have a secret in school? This person's telling me you know about this secret. She just turned at me. She says, yeah. I said, and you never told anyone this secret? And she goes, no. Well, your person here is telling me that to hold that secret and don't even tell your boyfriend. No one's to know. And you haven't told no one ever. She goes, I had never told anyone that secret.
Wow.
I said, well, that person's here, but I don't know why she's here. And she starts bawling. I said, oh, my God. And she goes, what? I said, was she killed in an accident? Because she's saying the word mutilate. Was she mutilated? And she starts bawling. She goes, just last week, she was on Route 81 with her boyfriend and a couple kids, and they lost control of their car. And they went down an embankment, and the car flipped. And when it flipped, she shot out and went into the southbound lanes of the highway. An 18-wheeler ran her over.
Oh,
Damn.
wow.
So she was mutilated.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was a week the week before we did the table tipping with her.
That's incredible.
Luckily, they were the only ones sitting at the table.
Yeah, there was no one else
Yeah.
here. But it was like a private thing.
Right.
But when
You guys have done some cool stuff.
when Spirit tells me, I warn people. Like I'm sitting around testing. I don't know what they're going to say. They can show me nasty stuff, or they can show me very loving stuff. You don't know, but
It's usually good.
they
stuff.
won't stop until I mention it. If I don't mention it, they'll just keep repeating it in my head. Now I have to leave the room.
Yep.
I have to get out of that room because they will not stop until I say it. They'll say, and they'll actually say to you, "Say it, say it." Say it.
That's what makes me read.
It's like a repeating record. And you're like, I will in a minute. They're talking at the moment. I'm saying to myself, in my head. So I'm talking to my, subconscious to them. I'm like, Jesus.
Yeah, if I don't relay the messages, they constantly make my ear ring. So I have to relay the message, and then it's
Right. Yep.
Mhm.
As soon as you
I've
relate
never
the
had to do like a psychic message or anything, but I did accidentally body slam a peacock. So that's pretty cool.
Hey, I have a peacock feather tattoo on my back.
There you go.
Yeah.
For real. I'm serious.
So what are your tattoos on your arm?
That one's blessed.
Okay.
This is an eye and some roses. And then I have let
How
them.
many tattoos do you actually have?
Let them.
17?
Let
Oh.
them. That is my life lesson. Let them.
Yep. Just let them do it.
Let them. Let them be them. And then I've got Mary, who when I heal, I'm on her vibration.
There you go.
I know for me, I thought about getting like a submarine on my chin.
You should do it.
Yeah, shooting like missiles into my mouth or something. I thought that would be
Do
cool,
it.
but,
Up your nose.
right?
I don't think Krista would go for that.
Probably not.
We're trying to do matching tattoos, and she's
Oh,
not on
nice.
board yet, is she?
Well, you know what? The Gettysburg Battlefield Bash is the place to get your tattoo because we have amazing tattooers.
Yeah, we do.
We'll
I
have
wanna
5
add one
days
to
this year.
mine.
Huh?
We have celebrity
I wanna add one to
bartending.
mine.
Ooh.
Yeah, we have celebrity bartenders.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Now you're speaking
Whoever
my
can raise
language.
the most tips for charity wins.
Okay, that sounds awesome. So, tell us the dates for anybody that is yet to know. When should they show up to the Battlefield, the Bash?
So the bash is
Starts at 12 o'clock on the 26th of July.
26, 27, 28. A lot of people are getting there Thursday. Some are coming Wednesday. When I checked last, out of the 2 hotels, we had 3 hotel rooms left.
Do you guys have like your own bank of hotel rooms, like your own?
We did.
We have
they're
the
all
whole-
sold out.
We have the whole.
Yeah, I checked.
We
Just
had 2
recently, there's
hotels.
not
We had
enough.
the 2 hotels were connected.
Yeah.
One's the Eisenhower, one's the Aspire, and they're, I don't know.
We didn't
300 some
get
rooms each one.
room blocks. We blocked out
The
both
whole
hotels.
hotel.
Both
Both
hotels.
hotels
Wow.
this year.
Okay, so so if we wanted to get a room, we would contact the hotel still? Or?
Call 717-334.
Wait, hold on, let me get a pen.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, get a pen.
717-334-8121.
And I call them right away.
And I
because
call.
after
Yeah.
Otherwise, and 'cause the rooms are discounted to $137, I think, a night. If you go in July in Gettysburg, rooms are $200 and some a night.
Look, I've
Any other-
got knee pads. I'll work for that discount.
Yeah, and you get a free breakfast every morning.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like you don't have to get. It's not like little Danishes either. You actually have eggs, bacon, sausage, whatever they have out there.
Nice.
And if by chance somebody calls that hotel and we don't have any rooms left, but I think we have 3, there is a place in town you'd have to drive that is a bed and breakfast that I could hook you guys up to.
Yeah.
It'll be a little more expensive, but it's a B&B.
Okay.
There you have it. Stephen and Pam Barry. You guys have been fantastic. We're gonna go ahead and do you want to play our trailer first and then our outro?
I can do
I don't know.
that.
Have you seen our trailer for our show yet?
No, I have not.
So it's we have a unique show, and it is not scripted, and it's something that you know Mike. You want me to do the first one or the second one?
Maybe we should do the first one that we did.
Okay.
And death sucks.
Let me get it back to the beginning.
God, I look handsome.
Hey, I'm Mike, and death sucks. I've had a couple of
You hear
deaths
it?
in my family recently, and I want to know, what comes after this? Is there life after death? So I'm teaming up with MaryLynn, a psychic/paranormal investigator. And together, we're going to check out some really awesome haunted locations. And maybe, just maybe, I'll find some of the answers that I'm looking for.
I noticed that Mike has a little bit of a hard time paying attention.
Hey, what are you doing?
Is he seriously eating right now? Watch your steps. Mike, you need to be careful. You need to know what's going on around you because you're going to hurt yourself.
I'm gonna have my hands full. He can't even walk without assistance.
I'm good. Every year, paranormal investigators go hungry. 1 out of every 1,000 paranormal investigators you know will die from malnutrition without your help. So please, donate today. Call the number listed below. Every penny matters. Every dime could save a life. More specifically, mine. So thank you from the bottom of my stomach.
I love it. This is what we need. This is what you need in the field, actually.
Right?
So
Yes.
that's the idea, is just to be different, and it's unique, and
Yeah.
it's something that
You know what? If we ever had a kid, it would be you, Mike.
When we,
Just saying.
when we did Paranormal After Party, we filmed. People said to us,
We're still online. I mean, we're still live.
Yeah, I know. They said, you aren't serious, or this show's not serious. And we were totally serious.
You have to watch some of the episodes.
If we did someone farted, it stayed in. It just
Oh,
stayed right in.
But watch the last few episodes because that's when I'm in it.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
I'm going to go ahead and play the second one.
We had a midget on our show. He hated to be called midget. A little person. If you call him midget, he'd kick you in the nuts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we did a scoop like you did. We did don't come a knocking. If you go on YouTube and punch in Paranormal After Party and then look for the Don't Come Knocking, it's a spoof on what you call it, Jehovah's Witnesses when they come knocking on your door.
Oh, no.
So he knocks on the door, the guy, right? He goes, "Hi, God has a message for you." And our little midget guy kicks the rain in the nuts. It's funny.
So I'm going to go ahead and play our second one. It's a little bit of the same.
That
But it's
reminded me of that.
Sabrina, the price of our monolith,
Go ahead.
$150. Sabrina wanted to know. That's all.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I can be your hero, baby.
Damn it, Mike.
Hey, I'm Mike, and death sucks. I've had a couple of deaths in my family recently, and I want to know, what comes after this? Is there life after death? So I'm teaming up with MaryLynn, a psychic / paranormal investigator. And together, we're going to check out some really awesome haunted locations. And maybe, just maybe, I'll find some of the answers that I'm looking for.
Mike really has a hard time paying attention. His mind is all over the place. Watch your step. Mike, you need to be careful. You need to know what's going on around you because you're going to hurt yourself.
Why? What happened?
You just fell.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to have my hands full.
I love this part right here.
Hey, what are you doing?
What?
Didn't we talk about that last night?
Yeah, I'm not as big on friends as you are. I told you I'm more of an office guy.
You're not supposed to be eating on investigations. Do that either before we come
Okay,
in.
well, hold on now. That was really more of a nibble.
Is he seriously eating right now?
How did you expect me not to eat? Do you know how hungry you get doing these investigations? Sometimes you just gotta snack. A man has to snack.
Mike, could you not eat during the party?
And that is Para with the Normal.
I love it.
I think it's going to work out really well because I'll tell you why. That's what the field needs. It needs laughter.
Yes.
We do.
Not so much seriousness. You have to have some laughter. And that's what we used to do with our show. We put laughter in it.
I think when you're at that level, when you're relaxed or having fun with things, and you're going to get good evidence.
Well, they call it positive energy, right? So there's still energy associated with it, and they can use that too. At least that's what I think. So, and that was kind of our goal. And we wanted to show that you don't have to be, mean. Not everything's a demon. You don't have to be a professional. You can just go out with your friends, and you can have a very fun, very cool, cathartic experience, and learn. You know what I mean? And be true to who you are and yourself. And that's what it's all about, right?
Yeah,
absolutely.
All right, folks, we'll go ahead. We'll shut this bad boy down. And
still need a taser in that show, though. Like, have someone run, just tase them for the heck of it.
So we've already talked about that. We're talking about taser with the taser.
Have someone run, just tase them during the show. Warn them ahead of time. Say, if you run, I got this taser.
I would love to be tased.
You drop your head sled. You just,
yes.
Look at it. See it?
Got him.
Well, thank you for joining us. It has been such a pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Fantastic show, guys. Go ahead and roll them credits.